Okay guys, gonna have a quick look here at this 2016 exam, I think it is, but just looking there, P, it doesn't go lower than P, so it does go up higher. So I want to start this low, right down at the very bottom, pretty much on the left. Okay, so low on the left, the base is 30. And I'll just mark 15 as well there. Then the center is up 31. And its radius 26, so I'll just mark that as well. And I'm going to draw that circle light. So there's our circle and our center. And we've got to draw. Now this is the thing, you gotta be careful here. You gotta put a horizontal. We've got to draw a diagonal line from the left corner up to here. I'll put this in a bit heavy so you can see. There's our diagonal, and this right hand side goes up to touch it, so that gives me the height for the verticals here. And the radius then of the second arc goes from the bottom through that. Okay, so, and that goes right back out then. Okay. So I'll just heavy that in there now as well. Okay, so that there is our construction. Okay, so there is our basic construction. Now I'm going to just label this P and X, and I'm going to move that line. So just zoom back a bit. Okay, so I'm going to set up the other points here now. So horizontal line, so it goes 45 and 60. And 45 in each here. And then we're up 100 for P1. So I'm trying to do these very light now if I can. So that's P1, and P3 is horizontal with that, but like I say, I'm trying to keep this as light as possible. So P3 is way over here at the end. Just check if that's on camera there now. It is. So there's P3, and P2 is up 40 higher than that, in line with here. So 40 higher than that. And P4 is level with the center. Okay, so there's all our points found. Now, so this yoke goes from P to P1 by translation. So if we slid that up, but we want to show these translation lines, so there's P to P1. So I'm going to just go parallel here, and I'm going to make sure that that's 40, or sorry, 30, just make sure. I'm going to heavy this in. So that's P1X, and I'm also going to mark the 15 in the middle as well. Now, and I'm going to just, I knew that that was up 31 from a while ago. So that's going to be my center. Now it goes from P1 to P2, sorry, that's P2. So it goes from P1 to P2 by axial symmetry. So I want to find the axis. So I might just zoom in on this for a second. So I'm just going to join them. And generally, you're safe enough to join P1 to P2, P2 to P3, and P3 to P4, because they're almost always needed to join those lines. So I want to open this compass more than halfway, swing an arc, swing another arc, so this here is my axis. Okay, so that's my axis. Now, P1 goes to P2. And you've got to be very accurate with these if you can. So X goes over there, and we know there's two ways of finding this now, but I know that X to P has to be 30. So that's where it should be. Now, however far X is at the left, it has to be the same distance to the right, and you'll see there that's the exact same point. So I always like to make sure though that this stays 30, because if the size of that, like that has to be 30 in all the views. So that's PX. Now you'll notice the axial flips the X further away. P was close, P stays close. X is far away, so when it goes over, X stays far away. Now, I could, if I wanted, get the center here, which is 15. And I'm going to use the angles here now. So that's the angle of the base, and 90 degrees to that. And up 31. Is the center. So again, I'm going to stop at that there for a second, because it goes from P2 to P3 by central symmetry. So again, I'll just zoom in on that there for a second. So P2 to P3 by central symmetry. So I'm opening my compass more than halfways. But this time now, I just want to find a center. So C for center. So P2 goes through the center to P3. So X goes through the center. And however far above the center, it goes the same distance below. But again, what's vitally important is that this stays 30. Now it is there now. That's now another thing to know about the central symmetry is it will keep the angle of the line the exact same. So really, like I knew before ever I started that the angle here would be parallel. So they're all working out fine. And the middle of the 30 is 15, and because the center is far away up here, center is going far away down here. And again, I'm using the fact that I know central keeps it parallel. That's my angle here, 90-degree angle, down 31. That's going to be the center for the circle. So finally now, just heavy this in. So I'll just zoom back a tiny bit again there now. And finally the rotation. Now it rotates clockwise through 90. Now, so if PX goes clockwise through 90, now there's two ways of doing this. I'll do it the correct way first, technically correct way. So I'm going to bisect this again. Okay, so I didn't open the compass big enough there, so they're not overlapping. They're just, but I did find what I was looking for was the center of the line. So I can just, if I want now, go perpendicular here. Okay, so if it's being rotated clockwise, the center is up here, and if the angle is 90 degrees at the center, then I want 45 at the base, because we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180. So that's 45 degrees. So I'm in the process of making here now a triangle where this angle is 45, this angle here was 45, so this angle above here must be 90, and it gets rotated clockwise through 90. So P3, I'll swing this arc just so you can see what I'm doing. P3 goes to P4, and X. Now there's a few different ways of finding X over here, but because X is to the left of P3, it's going to be to the left of it over here as well, and it has to stay 30 away from it. So that there would be my angle. But again, because it got rotated through 90 degrees, I could have used the fact that I knew it was 90, that it's going to be at a 90-degree angle from that. That's slipped there now. 90-degree angle from that. So you can see there my 90-degree angle. So that's the base again, and seeing as the center is down here, it's going to be, it would be staying sort of far away, so I'm going to just get center of this. And just get the protractor there instead, it's a bit smaller. Okay, so as I said there, what I want to do now is like just be repetitive here now. So I want to draw in my circle in all the centers, one after the other. So it just works out quicker to be doing the same thing over and over again. So I'm putting in the circle here, light on all of them. And I'm going to go back now and get the arc size from here, which was very close to the same anyway. And I'm going to just draw in that arc. But you will just find that it's very quick to redraw the whole thing several times. So next, I'm going to put on the sides. So we knew this first one was vertical, and the rest are just 90-degree angles. So I'm just lining it up here with the center axis. And finally there now, I'll just go along and heavy back in. Okay, so there we go. I'm not sure how long that was for time there now. So translation, axial, just remember central keeps it parallel. It flips it away, but it still keeps it parallel, same angles. And the rotation, and what I was saying there with the rotation is I'll just put it in here in colour. If this is the angle for PX, so if you know the angle for PX is this, and we were told then it rotates 90 degrees clockwise, so that there is the angle for PX in, I should have said at P4. So that is the angle for it. So you can use that to double check there that you're correct if you want it, because if that goes 90 degrees clockwise, it should be at that angle over here. So there you go, guys. Best of luck with that.